we had kind of an internal experiment this year too, regarding on an annual basis, we get together for our we call it a summit, where we get together and talk and learn from each other, and we do some sprints and exercises. Yep, Tech Summit 2021. That was the first year we did it virtually, and I thought it went really well.
Yeah, it did. I miss having. I mean, again, I'm an extrovert, and I miss having everyone here. I think I miss that quite a bit. But at the same time, it went pretty well. I was able to, I was able to still get the same experience or the same belief that as I'm sitting here listening to the sprint exercises or the hackathon type stuff that we're doing, that people are starting to see how it actually works. To get together 20 people or 25 people on a 2 or 3 day long tech, marathon long summit session or marathon long Teams meeting is hard to do. And obviously we had people dropping in and out for customer work, but to get everyone in it and have everyone be involved, and I'm a firm believer the camera should be on. I for no other reason. I want to see the fact that Jack's got a cat in the room, or or Aaron is at the office and has a whiteboard next to or behind him, or I want to have cameras on because I just miss seeing people. But it's at the same time, I totally understand also that people don't want to share that part of their life. So great, we've got backgrounds, right? And that's been a nice addition as well. Right. Blurred background, or from the from the bridge of one of the Imperial Star Destroyers from Star Wars, or from the surface of the moon. Insert wherever you want to take this phone call from. That's fine. Great. I'm gonna give you an actual picture of a beach if I can. So that's kind of my that's been the nice part of it, and I do believe the cameras on has helped me as a person. Obviously there's always the conversation of should cameras be on or not. We've adopted it internally that if it's an internal meeting and it's scheduled, cameras get turned on. And I think it's allowed us as a team to connect back together, right? In a certain way too, that we had kind of lost because everyone was just always doing no camera on. But if you have your camera on, you have to take a shower. My one of the people is even on the team has even said she's even said I have to put on makeup every day now, and it's starting to feel a little bit more like work again, and not just always Saturday at 4 a.m. And that's been valuable, I think, because it helps put a little bit of structure back in people's lives.
Well, on the flip side too, it seems like we all understand life is life, and you mentioned a cat walking through or a kid walking into the room. It's been interesting over the past year. We've grown to just accept that as a fact, where we would have almost felt sorry about those type of events and conference calls before, but everybody's experiencing this now. Everybody's dealing with this now.
Yeah, and not so much anymore because people have figured it out. But I think back March, April, and May of last year, and maybe even into June. There were kids in the background, screaming cats, barking dogs, and those always happened. But people would be like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't. My dog's going nuts. I don't know what's going on." To now, you hear it as like, "I want to see the picture of the kitty." I want to see the cat. And so it's been an interesting way that I think people's expectations have changed. Not all for the better, by the way. I think one of the downfalls of this is because everybody is working remote and everyone's always available by something like Teams or Slack or, insert your favorite chat tool here. I think people now just expect that if I send a message at 10 o'clock at night, they have to respond at 10:15. Whereas when there was structured work hours or structured work times and places, if I sent a Teams message at 10 o'clock at night, I know someone wasn't going to answer it till 8 o'clock in the morning the next morning. And that was fine. But now I think people are working longer, but not in as many contiguous hours, where it used to be, here's 8 or 9 hours, here's your, and whatever that is, whatever your day was, people used to go to work this time, stop at this time. Usually did, a lot of people, especially in IT, did a little bit of work in the evening here or there, but it was typically evenings were kind of reserved for family time. And I'll even put myself in this. It used to be reserved for chasing cheerleading daughter around, chasing choir daughter around, chasing track daughter around. I mean, just all of the evening things that a parent or you got book club or whatever the case may be. Those don't happen anymore. Or if they are happening, they're not allowing anyone more than like 1 or 2 people to show up. Now, Texas is a little bit different. We've now opened up 100%, but a lot of the buildings, the school districts and whatnot are still holding it at 50%, which means like a graduation. My second daughter graduates from Texas A&M in 2 months. Oh, less than 2 months. Wow. 45 days. And in 46 days, or in 45 days, they're only giving 6 tickets to her graduation. And they're graduating in groups of 1,000 people, which means that there will be 6,000 people at that graduation. They're holding it in Kyle Field. It holds 115,000 people. But that's kind of the new normal. And I have forced myself now where if I send a message in the middle of the night, I actually at the end of the line, please don't worry about responding about this. We'll talk about it in the morning. Because I don't want people to feel like, anyone on my team, I don't want them to feel like they have to respond at 1 o'clock in the morning because that's when I sent the Teams message. No, that's a hard thing to break. And just because I'm working at 1 o'clock in the morning, which I do quite a bit, just because I'm working at 1 o'clock in the morning doesn't mean that I expect everyone else to. But what I'm finding is I'll say, don't worry about responding to this, respond to it in the morning. And 45 minutes later, I've got a response. And it's typically because while we're not working, that 8 or 10 hour window every day, now because we don't have our commute and we don't have lunch and we don't have the other things, we've got this 8 to 10 hour window every day that we're working. We're working over a 17-hour period in a day or 16-hour period in a day, but I'm working 45 minutes here and I'm taking 15 minutes off to go do the dishes. Or, there's other things that bump into the normal day that I think people are actually working more and don't realize it. And that's kind of too bad. And it's all because of the ease of collaboration. And I think Microsoft actually did a study, and I think that's pretty close to what they lined up with. Is the amount of work is actually increasing, but the amount of contiguous work is decreasing. People are expecting to be pinged at 10 o'clock at night by their boss and have to respond in an hour. So they do. Because if my boss is up asking questions at 10 o'clock at night, maybe I should be awake at 10 o'clock at night asking questions. So, and that's, like I said, some things are great about it. Some things, and this is just a society we have to answer that, I've made a point now. If I'm expecting a response right away, I will say, please respond when you get this. If I'm not expecting a response till the next morning, I'll say, don't worry about an immediate response. Get this to me tomorrow or by 2 p.m. or whenever that window is. And it's helped a lot.
Thank you for watching Stratum's Cloud Interrupted. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, and share this video.